Okay, good morning, everyone. Just hang on. First of all, I want to say thank you very much for having us. We're very grateful to be here to talk about talent. It's a lot of what we do. So first of all, I'd like to say my name is Travis Fleeler, and I'm with the Carleton University Cooperative Education Program.
Bonjour. Hello, everyone. I'm Chantal Yell, and I'm with University of Ottawa's co-op program as well.
So for most of you, I'm sure you know that it was a pretty big weekend for Carleton, Ottawa. The Panda game. Didn't really go as planned for the GGs. I guess we'll stick to basketball, but anyway, go Ravens, as I could say.
And to that, I have to say, no way, Travis. Go GG. But seriously though, can you hear me okay? Okay, now I can hear myself. Seriously though, we are very pleased to be here today to sponsor the Hire Local Ottawa panel. It is a first, and we hope one of many, where Carleton Co-op and New Ottawa Co-op will sponsor an event.
Exactly, and we're hoping that today's panel is going to provide you with a lot of insightful and important information about how to hire local and about the Hire Local Ottawa initiative. And the four PSIs, the post-secondary institutions, have got together to really make it easy and efficient for everyone to hire locally. So for the first time of many, as Chantal said, we're hoping to continue to do this, but we just also wanted to remind everybody that a great talent strategy starts with hiring co-op.
Just like we've heard in the previous speech. So to demonstrate this, we've actually asked our friend Kathy McCallion to join us on stage today. So Kathy, if you can make your way to the stage. Kathy is the Recruitment Strategy and Community Relations Manager at Ross Video. And she will share how their company uses the local co-op programs to build their pipeline of talent for full-time hires. Kathy?
Thank you, Chantal and Travis, for inviting me to speak with you today. It's absolutely wonderful to be back here in person and see so many friendly and familiar faces. So great to be here. Ross Video has been working with some of the best universities and colleges throughout Canada, with most of them being here today and in our very own backyard. As a company, we support the education, the educators and the students as they navigate their own personal learning journey and hiring locally. Our beautiful city is home to exceptional institutions, including U Ottawa, Carleton, Algonquin, and La Cité. Their collaborative work on robust and integrated academic programs are among the top in Canada and are providing students with experiential learning opportunities. This not only provides students with clear insight and experience into real-world workplaces, but it also helps our local businesses meet their talent objectives. Co-op students from Ottawa are among the top graduates in Canada and are a critical success factor for institutions as well as our local businesses and organizations. We want our students to thrive in a world that is constantly shifting and where traditional forms of employment are changing rapidly. When a company hires a co-op student, this person gains critical on-the-job applied skills and advances their future career. Plus, the company they are working for can gauge if they are an appropriate fit for the organization. It's really a win-win, socially and economically. If you see a student showing great potential, invite them back for a second, third, or even fourth term, and proactively offer them a role after they graduate. This approach is a fantastic and very fulfilling way to feed your talent pipeline. Hiring locally is smart business. By hiring local students and forming strong ties to the region's secondary institutions, industry can collaborate with educators and influence programs and curriculum to ensure the students have the required skills upon graduation. I'm very proud of our robust co-op program at Ross, which has helped us grow our team with some of the best and the brightest. By incorporating this co-op approach into our hiring strategy, we've created a more diverse workforce, moving us closer to our gender diversity goals of 30% in tech, 30% women in tech by 2030, and 50% female personnel by 2050. Last year alone, we hired 34 new grads. When I joined Ross 4 years ago, we hired approximately 14 students per term, and we've grown that number to over 55 per term, striving to grow those numbers every year. And it really doesn't have to stop there. Our strong partnerships with Ottawa and Carleton now go beyond co-op programs. We actively engage with students on design challenges, research projects, capstones, international student professional development, and women in engineering and IT initiatives. And I'd be remiss to not mention our involvement with international students. International students are critical to our local workforce. They bring with them a unique skill set. Most come with an undergraduate degree and experience in the workforce. They're coming here to get a Canadian experience or master's. So it's important that we engage those international students so they stay here and contribute to our local workforce. As a business owners, managers, and community leaders, we are in a unique position to help shape talent development, attraction, and retention. Thanks very much for your time.
Thank you very much, Kathy. Ross Video is just one of the many examples of the importance and the impact that hiring local has, and especially with hiring co-op students. So we're hoping that the Hire Local panel will provide you with more insights and examples of the benefits of hiring local. So with that, with our little presentation, our little preamble here, it's really just wanting to get everybody thinking about hiring co-op and the importance and the impact that that has on your business.
Absolutely. And actually together, we have about 7,000 co-op students annually. And if we're combined with our colleagues from Algonquin and La Cité, we have over 10,000 co-op students at your disposal. So while Travis joins the rest of the panel where he'll represent his school, I'd like to introduce our lovely moderator, Noha Fami. She is Outreach and Recruitment Specialist at the City of Ottawa, and she graciously accepted to host this panel. Noha will take a moment to share the City of Ottawa's thoughts on using local schools as a recruitment strategy, and then she'll proceed to moderate the Hire Local panel. The floor is yours.
Okay, good morning, everyone. So, can you hear me? Yes. Okay, so thank you, Chantal and Travis. I'm really honored today and excited to be here to moderate and chat about this vision that Hire Local Ottawa has for an innovative and sustainable and radical collaboration when it comes to hiring. So to be very honest, I was surprised I see this like post-secondary institutions like they are collaborating for the first time and not really, how can we say this, not competing between each other. It's very refreshing. It is really very refreshing. So from my position at the City of Ottawa, working for the 4 PSI together around one table to see how the student can benefit. So that's really refreshing. So let me, before we chat more about this, let me tell you what we are doing at the City of Ottawa. So I'm so lucky, again, to be responsible for the re-engagement and strengthening of the city's co-op program initiative. The objective is to increase the number of motivated students, have them learn, develop their skill set while applying their knowledge with placement with the City of Ottawa. So the co-op program is one part, only one part for our corporate outreach and recruitment strategy. So the scope of the strategy is really to develop a model for external outreach and recruitment that aligns with diversity and inclusion priorities and workforce demand. requirements. So we want to modernize our processes. So this is why the City of Ottawa has successfully centralized our student recruitment on our careers page on ottawa.ca. So this is new, and it's exclusive for, this is the result of our work between the City of Ottawa and the 4PSI. We have a tile dedicated for student recruitment, co-op student, internship, apprentice, anything related to student, summer student, it is under this tile on ottawa.ca. So with this new approach, interested students will apply to available position on the city's web career page. This will increase awareness about different opportunities at the city and provide equal opportunity for students from different schools. So this is only one of the 4 initiatives that results from the collaboration between the city and the 4PSI. If you are curious to know more about the other, flag me down. I'm here till the end of this summit, Great Talent Summit. Okay, I'm done. Are you ready? So now back to our higher local panelists. So I would like to welcome Matt Whitley, Acting Manager, External Engagement and Partnership, Algonquin College. Hi, Matt. Travis Fleeler, External Relation and Employer Engagement Officer at Carleton University, Co-op. Brant Moore, Co-op Program Coordinator, Ottawa U. Well done. And unfortunately, our representative from La Cité had a family emergency and cannot join us today, but the director of La Cité des Affaires, Paul Toupin, in the audience today. Paul, hi Paul. So would it be okay, if we invite you to join us, at the end of the, with 4 questions? Okay, thank you. Okay, so are you ready? I'm here. The city and now the 4 post-secondary institutions. Okay, so Matt, starting by Matt. Can you tell me why the 4 post-secondary institutions decided to get together for this initiative?
Absolutely. First of all, welcome everybody, and thank you for having us. It's a great honor to be up on stage here with my peers. We do not carry the same brand. I'm from Algonquin College. They're from the other institutions, but we collaborate. We're partners, and we act in a way to make sure that our external clients know that. Ideally, you, and by the way, has anybody hired a co-op student lately?
Wow.
Carleton, Ottawa U, wherever, that's fantastic stuff. We love seeing that, and it's a great way to grow your human resources. Really, and Noah, thank you for putting this together as well. You've been awesome, and I speak on behalf of all of the institutions, how wonderful of a person you've been to work with. But like I said, we're partners, and you guys might not know this, but Algonquin College actually hires Carleton and Ottawa U students and La Cité students, and they hire our students because they feel comfortable knowing that the quality of student that each of the institutions bring is of value to them. So, you know, we're really grateful for that, and we're supportive of that. We often do referrals as well. If I run out of students in one particular program and I don't have any students left to offer my clients, I will then refer to my colleagues and my peers at other schools, because if I can help fill your staffing needs, whether it's an Algonquin student or a student at another institution, I don't know if you guys care that much, but you do care that you have the staffing that you need. So again, that's really important to us. The other thing is we are partners in the classroom as well. We have articulation agreements with various schools. We have dual programs where you can study at Algonquin, then go to Carleton or Ottawa U to complete your studies. So again, we are collaborators not just on a employment front, but we're collaborators in the classroom. But and we're here today because we have all noticed something that came to light and bubbled to the surface, especially during COVID, and that is the amount of remote work available to our students. Back in, say, 2016, if you asked us, we would maybe have a handful of students each working remotely because industry wasn't set up for it. However, now, as we all know, the pandemic changed everything. And by virtue of changing everything, it's brought new clients. It's brought new competition in, meaning that there are students from McMaster or U of T or other schools outside of our catchment area who are taking jobs that are traditionally for our students. And so our initiative today is to get you to consider to hire local. Much like the Buy Local initiative, this is the Hire Local. So the Buy Local initiative, basically, if you buy a product locally from a local company, then that's going to help the economy and that's going to help our community. Well, the same applies with this, which is Hire Local. So please consider hiring our students over other students. But I'm going to preface this by saying this, is that my daughter, Fiona, is in third-year university at McGill. And guess what she's doing? She has a job within the government working at IRCC part-time while she goes to school. Traditionally, that would have been a job for one of our students in the Ottawa area because that job would have been in person. But now that job has gone to Montreal. I'm grateful that it's my daughter, but if this is a growing trend, we might really struggle to get those opportunities for our students. So that's the general theme. I'll kick it back to you, Noah, but yeah, just remember, we're here together to support you folks.
Thank you so much, Matt, and happy for your daughter. But one day she's coming back to Ottawa. Thank you. Okay, Brand, when did you start collaborating, and how has it been received by the industry?
Thanks. No, that's an interesting question. There's a few different layers to that. So, the short answer is, we started this initiative roughly a year ago. So officially collaborating for the past year. The reality is there was a shift somewhere along the way a few years ago. I was trying to think, how do I describe that shift? And it came to me this morning as I was standing there freaking out about remembering my lines while I'm up here, was that looking at LinkedIn. So I've been in sort of the employment space, the student employment space for roughly the last 10 years, with stints both at Carleton, at the Ottawa Employment Hub, which is housed at Algonquin College, and now at the University of Ottawa. So very familiar with the student space. And when I started out, joined LinkedIn, connected to Matt on LinkedIn. And what was my purpose for doing that? Well, to steal his contacts, right? To find jobs, and fast forward 5 years, and connect with Travis when he started at Carleton. I like to think of that was an opportunity for me to share my contacts to Travis to better the employment for youth in the city. So I'd say somewhere in the last 5 to 10 years, there's sort of been a shift in mentality between the post-secondary institutions that we're there to complement each other and to work with each other. The reality is, well, actually, in large part to Michael and the Ottawa Business Journal and Sue Ling and the Ottawa Board of Trade, there are no more secret companies. With the promotion of the top 40 under 40, with the fastest growing companies, the top employers in the city, there's no secret companies, right? So everybody knows everybody. It just makes sense to work together. And I'm only sharing half the story right now. So we're here representing the 4 post-secondary institutions in Ottawa, but we're only half the partners. So we have 4 other equal partners as part of this initiative. We have the City of Ottawa, with support from Mayor Watson as well. We have Invest Ottawa, who's always willing to share their insights at our discussions. The Canada North Business Association has been a great partner of ours as well. They provide an opportunity to promote the Hire Local initiative, both at TechNATA as well as to their HR Leadership Council as sort of a kickoff event for us. And our last partner, who am I missing?
There you go.
Are you a partner, Celine? I don't know. Yeah. Yes, the Ottawa Board of Trade has been a fantastic partner, both in inviting us to speak at this event, in promoting the Hire Local initiative, and they've been gracious enough to actually host our website. So our landing page is on hirelocalottawa.ca, is on the Ottawa Board of Trade's website as well. So full circle, there's been the initiative has been well received amongst industry. I mean, that's why we have the partners that we do. And the reality is that these conversations and these collaborations, they've been going on for years. So I sit on the Ottawa Board of Trades, or I had been sitting on the Ottawa Board of Trades Talent Committee. And on that committee, there's representatives from Invest Ottawa, from our partner employers in the room. I sit on the steering committee for EARN, which is the Employment Accessibility Resource Network, which is focused on bettering the employment landscape for people with disabilities. And talent is always a discussion at these tables. Student talent is always a discussion at these tables, and multiple partners are there. So whether it's U Ottawa and Algonquin or Carleton's or La Cité, as part of these committees, there's a lot of cross collaboration. And what's nice is this is an initiative now where all four, we're not just collaborating with our community partners, but we're collaborating as institutions as well. So it's nice to have everybody at the same table for once, focusing strictly on student talent.
We were lucky, or I'm lucky, because when I joined where I am now with program and planning department, they started the Hire Local initiative, and I worked with the four of them at the same time. So 1 year ago, so that's been fantastic. Really, thank you for all your help, for our talent pipeline at the City of Ottawa. Travis, your turn. Carlton. So it's been 1 year. What has been done so far?
Well, first and foremost, I think it's worth us acknowledging all the work that Chantal Yell from the University of Ottawa has done. She's really been the driving force in getting the four PSIs together to really initiate the Hire Local movement and the collaboration between all four of us. So just a quick round of applause for Chantal. Like I said, she's been a true champion for this, and she's been the one facilitating and coordinating a lot of our meetings and a lot of the get-togethers and a lot of the brainstorming. So without Chantal, I don't know if we would... Time, she says, wrap it up. And so anyway, so just thank you to Chantal for that. But a couple things. So one of the big things that we've worked on was really just creating the landing page. And again, thank you very much to OBOT for helping facilitate that and giving us a space for us to house our information. With that, it just creates a space for everyone to go to and access information on all four PSIs and connect to our own pages to learn more about the cooperative education programs and even about new grad recruitment and hiring as well. We've really started off focusing specifically on co-op because that's where we all kind of sit within our different departments, but it's more about co-op, more than about co-op. It's about new grad recruitment. It's about partnering with the universities. It's about engaging. So we're trying to share that message through the Hire Local and us as collaborating together to do so. So we've been working on putting together some different communications via LinkedIn, some social media. So just to really get the message out there to bring some awareness to the importance of hiring local. So that's really what we've been focusing on in the last year, and we've been strategizing and thinking about different ways and what we can do moving forward. But really it's to keep that message alive and really to show the unity between the four PSIs, and I think that's extremely important, and to drive home the importance of hiring local, and we'll get to more about the importance of hiring local in a bit. Mm-hmm. But, and as Brent had mentioned as well, we're trying to be more present at different local events. We're here today. We wouldn't have, I can't even imagine a scenario where the University of Ottawa and Carleton would have co-sponsored an event, and I think that this is in part because of the Hire Local initiative. And then being at TechNata and being there at KNBA, the HR leaders meeting, to just kind of present and really kick off the story and the initiative of Hire Local itself. So those are a few things that we've done so far, and there's a lot more that we're going to be doing in the future as well. And it all starts with just strategizing and coming up with a good brand and a message that's going to be consistent via social media and things like that.
I'm looking forward. I'm really looking forward, to know more about the future progress. Brand, so I think the industry needs more than co-op student, right? So what are your plans like for future?
Yeah, so for this coming year, I mean, Travis touched on it a little bit here. You know, this past year, it's been mostly about promotion, getting word out there about Higher Local. Obviously, that's going to continue this coming year. There's still work to be done to create that awareness, to create the awareness of the unity between all 4 post-secondary institutions. In that vein, this is an example of that, where we're here at this event in order to do that. We're going to be putting together a video as well that'll promote the initiative. What we really want to focus on next, though, is what do our employer partners want? What can we do to make life easier for our employers? So we're in the midst of doing a little revamp or information ad to our website, where we're going to put all the different funding options available that are out there for employers to bring on students, whether that's co-op students, whether that's new grads, what's available for you to bring on student talent, which will really help, probably primarily the small, medium-sized enterprises as well, where, funding can be an issue. So we want to make that, have a centralized spot where you can access that information, and it'll apply to all 4 PSIs. The other thing we want to do is we're going to add information on our different career events on that page. So whether it's our career fairs or how to schedule an information session with the institution, so you can go to one spot and know who's your primary contact, and how do you get started with recruiting from the 4 different schools. Probably the most exciting initiative we have planned, and it'll take probably most of 2023 for us to sort of pull all the strings and get everything organized, is a plan for 2024 to have a joint career fair between the 4 PSIs. So a central career fair where you can go to access new grads from all schools. I'm sure there'll be an opportunity to access co-op talent as well, but really want to shed a light on our new grads, and it'll be a sort of a one-stop shop for industry. And I know there's been a calling for that, I think, for quite a while. I remember having a discussion with, I'm not sure if he's still the head of the Ontario Chamber, Louis De Palma, a few years ago. And that was one thing he said to me, is I wish there was one career fair for, a joint career fair between the 4 post-secondary institutions. And I think he mentioned that to me probably 6 years ago. So fast forward, 6-7 years, and it'll be a reality. So looking forward to that, and it'll be a great event, and more details to come, but probably not for another 6 months.
Yeah, so it's exciting, really, to have the 4 PSI under one roof, meeting fresh grad with potential employers. That's really great. So lucky students. Okay, Travis, why should the local industry recruit from local schools?
That's a very great question. I think that's the most important question as well. I think the number one thing that I think of is why you should hire locally is, Chantal and I alluded to this earlier, there are close to, between the 4 PSIs, there are close to 10,000 students just in the co-op program alone. And we talk about a talent shortage. We talk about accessing talent. You have 10,000 students locally who are here ready to work, who are enrolled in co-op programs. I think that is the biggest reason of all, is why it's important to hire locally. You have access to those students. They're literally in your backyard with an arm's reach. You can get onto campus, do info sessions, promote your brand, promote your culture, promote the opportunities and the experiences that the students can get. There's not a lot of opportunities in life. You buy a house, you might not know the faulty wiring, but you bought the house, you've committed. With a co-op student, it's a try before you buy. It's an opportunity to mentor them. It's an opportunity to train them and develop them in the way that your organization sees fit. And so being local, you can do that. You can meet with students before you hire them. You can show up for info sessions. You can show up for career fairs, and we're here. It's not doing it virtually. We're literally here in your backyard. So that's the advantage of hiring locally, but it also contributes to the economy, the local economy as well. Students choose to go to one of our institutions. They chose to be here, and they hope to be here. And this is an opportunity for local businesses to really prove what is out there for them, to prove the opportunities are here for them to stay. So I think that's extremely important as well, is to be engaged with these students and show them that you didn't just come here for university or college and to be educated. You came here to live and work. So I think that's a number one reason as well, or a really important reason as well. We also haven't even talked about the international students. So if you consider international students in their selection process as to where they want to go to school and what programs they want to take, they chose to come to Ottawa, and they didn't choose that just for no random reason. They chose to come here because of the opportunities in industry, because of the great opportunities in education as well. So I think when we are looking to recruit our international students, it's a really great opportunity for local industry to bring them in, give them some experience, and prove to them that there is, it's worth staying post-graduation as well. So those are just a few of the reasons why it's important, I feel, to hire local as well.
That's great. Thank you, Travis. So last question for Matt. So I would like to know from you, what's your message to business leaders and HR community that they are here today to listen to you?
Yeah, so the idea really is to think about hiring local, and to, whenever you're thinking about picking up the phone and calling a college or university about your staffing needs, consider all your options. I know that when I visit with employers and they talk about their staffing needs, I ask them, have you spoken to the other schools? And if they haven't, I suggest that they do, because they offer a product that might be a little bit slightly different than ours. So that's something to be really important, and that helps our job, knowing that we're not combative, and that you folks realize that. We often have employers, will post a job and a student won't get hired, and I'll call them back and say, what happened? Did you hire somebody? And they might say, oh, well, we hired a Carleton student instead. And my response to that every time is, well, it's unfortunate you didn't hire an Algonquin student. However, I am thrilled that you got the staffing person that you need. And that short conversation will still keep the door open in the future for Algonquin College students. So just remember that we are a united front, and we are collaborating together to ensure that you are being properly serviced, and that you will consider hiring a co-op student in the future if you haven't already, or you continue to hire them. We all agree that staffing and retaining employees is difficult. It's probably the #1 challenge that companies are facing, and we know that. And we're here to help you achieve, or make it as simple for you as possible to, like I said, hire our students. So again, just to quickly recap, Ottawa youth students aren't available because they're all in jail because they just wrecked Sandy Hill. Carleton students are all worried about losing the Panda game again. So consider La Cité and Algonquin. No. No. In all kidding, listen, we really appreciate getting FaceTime with industry leaders. So thank you for that. And thank you, Noah, for your leadership as well.
Thank you. Thank you so much.